Hey guys, happy hump day everyone. How you guys doing out there? It is your girl coming to you once again with another motivational message of the day. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about belief. What do you believe? What is your belief system? How much faith do you have in yourself? How much do you believe in yourself? You ever think about that? When you think about your hopes and your dreams and the things that you are asking God for, how much faith do you have in God, in yourself? Like, how much do you actually believe? Because without it, you're not going to get very far. Like, you have to have some kind of belief system set into place. You have to have complete faith in yourself. You have to have totally and complete faith in God and what He wants most for you and what you want for yourself, because sometimes we can think we want a thing and it ain't what we want. It's just what we thought we wanted. I have been tricked up by my own wants many of times, thinking that I want something, and then once I got it, it was like, yeah, this ain't it. So first of all, we have to identify what we want out of life, what we want God to do for us, what do we want for ourselves, and our faith. How much faith do we have in our own capabilities? Like, do you believe that you can do with that thing that you really want to do? We all have that genius within us in a certain area, and I think that we don't get to where we want to be, or we never even strive as hard as we can actually strive, is because we don't even believe that we can do it. So if you don't believe that you can do it, how could you even convince anyone else? You have to have complete and total faith in yourself for you to even attempt to step out there and try to accomplish a thing. Because without having belief in yourself, you will never get to where you actually want to be, and you're never going to be satisfied. You will always say to yourself, I know that this is not it. I know that there is more. I know that I'm just not fulfilled at where I am. You don't want to find yourself settling and not being fulfilled where you are in life, because you don't want to have that faith in yourself. Sometimes we can judge our own capabilities on how other people feel about us. So we had to step outside of what other people believe about us, or what other people say about us, or even what you think other people think about you. And sometimes you can know what people think about you by the way that they treat you. So it just really goes to show where they hold you, what value that they uphold you in their own mind by the way that they treat you. And people will reveal themselves of who they really are. Give them a while and they'll say it straight out their own mouth. People will reveal who they are and how they feel about you. They can try to fake and smile all up in your face and try to act like they value you, but in their heart they probably never will. And just because other people don't value you don't mean you cannot value yourself. We have to learn how to uphold value and faith within ourselves, because if we don't, how far do you think you will actually be able to make it in life if you don't hold yourself up to a certain value? We have to learn how to set certain standards for ourselves, and do not allow yourself to be compromised for anyone, for any reason, for any person. I don't care who they are or what role they play in your life. It doesn't matter who they are. Once you set a certain standard for yourself, you have to leave it there. You cannot compromise your own self-beliefs just because of how other people choose to treat you. They'll look at you like, who you think you are? Or you full of yourself. I am full of myself. I have faith in myself. I believe in myself. I have complete confidence in myself and what I want for myself and what God wants for me. And once you have those things set in your mind, you have to go after your heart's desire wholeheartedly, because it will not be compromised. You have to find that place of courage deep down in yourself. Even if you have to step outside of yourself and put on your courage suit, or put on your cape, and be super who you are. Just be that person, especially when it comes down to you going after your hopes and your dreams and the things that you want for yourself. Even if you have to convince yourself that I hold myself up to these certain standards and beliefs, and I have faith in myself because this is what I want for my life, and this is what I'm going to go after, and I will not compromise for anything or anyone. Once we start allowing ourselves to be compromised for whatever reason, we bump down our self-value. Bump, 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 bump. We lower our own self-value. We lower our own self-esteem according to how other people treat us and what other people say about us and how other people think of us, instead of going after our own potential, the things that we know how to do in our hearts and in our minds and in our souls and in our spirits. You know who you are, even if no one else knows. You know who you are. You know what you are capable of, and that's really all that matters. You have to learn how to go after those things with everything that you have inside of you. Start with what you have and exactly where you are at. Like, you really don't have a choice but to start where you at right now, but you have to at least start. Anything is a start. This is what I want for myself. This is not where I see myself 20 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Set goals for yourself. Set standards for yourself. Set values for yourself. And do not allow yourself to be compromised under any circumstances whatsoever. You have to go forth with full and complete faith and belief. So what is your belief system? Do you have to do a self-check? Like, what is my belief system? Like, how much do I believe in myself? If I tell myself that I can do a certain thing, how much faith do I have in myself that I can actually do the thing that I have my heart and my mind and my soul set out to do? How much faith do you have in yourself? Ask yourself that question. Think about your own capabilities. Think about your own talents. Think about your own genius. Think about that thing that you are absolutely amazing at and that you love. And think about what you want for your future, because it might just be more obtainable than what you think it is. Sometimes we think that thing may be so far away, and then we tell it to the wrong people, and they tell you why you can't do it. We can't allow ourselves to be full, or our minds to be full of other people's expectations of us, or how far they think we can go. It's not their lives. It's not their hopes. It's not their dreams. It's not their future. It's not their family. 9 times out of 10, they don't even care. And the other 9 times out of 10, they want you to fail anyway. So you can't base yourself and your life and your future off of what other people think about you. You have to isolate yourself, go inside of your own mind, dig deep down inside of yourself and ask yourself, who am I? What am I capable of? What talents do I have? What can I do? And how much faith do I have inside of myself that I can absolutely execute that thing? And you have to go after it one step at a time, one thing at a time. If it don't work the first time, you have to try it again. You have to try it in a different manner. You have to try it in a different way. You cannot stop just because it's not easy. You cannot stop just because it look hard. You cannot stop because you convinced yourself that it is too hard. You have to learn how to believe in yourself. I have to learn how to believe in myself. It is one major factor that is going to get you to where you need to go. Set goals for yourself. Set standards for yourself. Set values for yourself. Go after these things with everything that you have inside of you and see how far it's going to get you. Sometimes you're going to get weak. Sometimes you're going to get tired. Sometimes you're going to get frustrated. Sometimes you will get discouraged. And during all of those times, you have to convince yourself that I believe in my heart that I can do this thing. Just believe it and see how far your belief will get you in life. You know, some people try to say, oh, well, praying just ain't enough, or having faith in God ain't just enough. Let me tell you something. My faith in God brought me a long way in life. It has been times in my life that all I had was my faith in God. That all I had was to stand out on faith. I didn't had nothing else. I ain't had no money. I ain't had no man. I ain't had no friends. I ain't had no family. I ain't had no car. I ain't had no place to stay. I ain't had no job. It has been times when I did not have anything but my hope, faith, and complete trust in God. And guess what he did? He picked me up and he carried me all the way. He gave me everything that I needed. He mended my broken heart. He healed my wounds. He wiped the dirt off of me. He shook those things off of me. He cleaned me up. He turned my life around. He gave me a fresh, brand new start. Belief and faith and hope and trust will carry you such a long way. Don't let nobody tell you that it won't, at least until you try it for yourself. And I'm not talking about halfway faith. I'm not saying try it for a second. I'm talking about put your all into your belief, into your faith, into your belief system. Wake up every single day of your life believing. Over and over and over again. Believe again. If you lost your faith or you lost your belief yesterday, gain it again the next day. Put on more belief. Say, oh, it didn't work yesterday. Well, I tried to believe yesterday. Believe again today, and continue to believe, and continue to believe, and continue to believe, and just see how far that thing is going to take you. You have to mute out all the noise of the outside and tune in to what you know you are capable inside of yourself of doing. If you think or believe that you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it. If you think that you are going to fail, then that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up failing. You have to have faith and belief in yourself. If you want things for yourself, if you want what you never had, you got to do what you ain't never did. I am stepping out on faith in so many different ways and doing things that I never even imagined myself doing. And it is taking me so far in life. I am so fulfilled. My spirit is fulfilled. My soul is fulfilled. I'm full even when I'm hungry. When I haven't had anything to eat, I can live off of faith and hope and trust. The word of God says man should not live off of bread alone. Sometimes all you have is your faith, and at those times, that's all you need. Most times all you have is your faith. All the time all you have is your faith. You're going to have to let it carry you. If you choose not to allow yourself to be driven by hope and by faith and by trust, there will be a time where you won't have a choice but to stand on faith alone. We always think that we have situations in our hands, under our control, that we know what we doing, that we got this and all of that. God will humble you in such a way that you won't have a choice but to put your hope and your faith in him. But that's where it should be anyway. That's where it should be anyway. You should believe in God. You should believe in yourself. You are not here because of your own doing. I don't care how self-made you claim yourself to be. Ain't nobody in this world that self-made. It took a whole lot of people, a whole lot of faith, a whole lot of belief, and a whole lot of trust. I hear some of the most wealthiest people speak about how they had to stand out on belief and faith and giving. I'm telling you, what I hear these people saying, I dedicate my life to learning these things every single day. And it is people, even if you don't want to take my word for it, there is people who are reliable sources, that has earned their way. Sometimes people like you, to see the money and the flashy and the diamonds and the cars and all of that kind of stuff before they open their ears and think what a person has to say is of any value. But you never know what you might be denying yourself, just because you only listening to the ones that is flashing this and flashing that. Somebody just might be trying to drop some jewels on you that will take you a long way in life. Wealth comes in, wealth and success comes in so many different forms. If you are not suffering in the same ways that you have suffered in the past, if you are different than who you were 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, and God has allowed you to be an overcomer in a major way, you could call yourself a person of success. Somebody had to open my eyes to me being successful in their eyes, and then they just started naming off things one by one, and it just gave me a whole new outlook on myself. And I was like, I never thought about it that way. So if you want to call someone successful, it's more than one way of looking at someone as a person of success. Anyone can be a reliable source. I don't deny myself knowledge from anyone. I learn from children. I learn from talking to children. I talk to those that are less fortunate all the time, because you never know what somebody might drop in your spirit that might carry you a very, very, very long way. So you can get your wisdom and get your knowledge and get your resources from different angles. It don't have to look like what you think it's supposed to look like. But our main focus today is learning how to set up a belief system and sticking with it. Even if you have to jump into your alter ego and give it a name, or give it a certain pair of socks, or certain lucky draws before you go into that meeting or to that interview, or whatever that is most important to you. Whatever you have to do to put on your self-belief, or your faith or your belief in God, even if you think it's repetitious, even if you think that I feel like I've been praying about the same thing over and over and over again, keep praying, keep hoping, keep believing. Just because it didn't happen yet don't mean it ain't gonna happen at all. So let me just say that. But you have to continue to believe and have hope and have faith and have trust in yourself. I believe that it is so much out there than we give life credit for. Sometimes we just read the sentence or read the paragraph, and we just keep going. We don't put a period at the end of the sentence, or we don't know how to start a new chapter. Just because something that happened to us in the past, that does not define, put a permanent definition on what your future have to look like. Sometimes the past is just the past. past. Sometimes, what happened. Sometimes it is time for us to push the reset button in our minds and allow ourselves to have a whole completely different outlook on the way that we view ourselves and other people in life. You do not want to deny yourself what you are praying for. Some of the most valuable things in life. Don't deny yourself. Don't hold yourself into a box because you are afraid to go further for whatever reason. Just because something happened, it is what it is. There is so much more out there for you than you are giving yourself credit for. So keep searching, keep hoping, keep praying, keep believing. Never let up your belief, especially in God and especially in yourself. Keep believing. It will happen if you believe that it is going to happen. So that is my message for today, you guys. I am so glad we made it this far in this amazingly beautiful week. Every day is a brand new gift that God allows us. If He woke you up this morning, then that is a gift. It is a new chance. It is a new opportunity. There is something in it for you, because somebody that laid down last night did not wake up this morning. We just had another anniversary of 9/11, where the Twin Towers went down. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people died on September 11th. I believe it was 2001, because I had my soon-to-be 21-year-old that year, and I remember being pregnant and sitting in front of the TV and watching the planes on the news crash into those buildings. Those people had their whole day mapped out. They got up and they had their regular routine when they woke up that morning. They had mapped out what they wanted for dinner that night. They never would have thought in a million years that was going to be the fate that they were going to face when they walked out that door that day on 9/11. They didn't. I'm sure if they knew that was going to happen, they wouldn't have stepped one toe out that door. So that just goes to show we cannot take 1 second of this life for granted. There is something in it for you. I don't care what happened. I don't care how old you are. I don't care who did what, Sally and Joe. So what? We're going to get past all of that, and we will continue to have new hopes for our future every single day. When I say there is something in it for you, you have to believe with your whole heart and your whole spirit and your whole soul that there is something in it for you. So that is my message for today, y'all. In the meantime, y'all continue to be blessed. Count your blessings. Continue to be grateful for every single second that God allowed you to spend time on His earth. Life is a blessing. Let's take advantage of every second that God gives us here on this earth. So, Lord willing, I will see you guys again tomorrow for another motivational message of the day.